he didn't speak English to me. So he taught me Satchitam, which is truth inside yourself. Only speak truth to yourself. Number 2, Metta, loving kindness. Loving kindness inside your own self, for yourself. Number 3, Kantitam. What's Kantitam?
Patience.
Patience for yourself. What's Vidya? Effort. And number 5?
Ubeka.
And what's Ubeka? Yeah, balance. So what happens is, if we speak truth inside ourselves, we see loving kindness. We have to see that. That's what's in there. So that is the truth. But if you speak a lie or a story, you cannot see the loving kindness because you're telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you suck. Right? Am I speaking truth?
Mm-hmm.
So, but once you start speaking the truth to yourself, you start to see the love inside your heart. Right, Roger?
Yes. I went through that in Thailand with Kim because I was like, well, I guess I screwed up again. And she was like, what did you just say?
Because what is that? What does that mean, screwed up again? You're doing you. You're doing yourself. How can you screw up? See, we judge ourselves all the time. There's no need for judgment. Anytime that something occurs, it's a lesson. Take the teaching. It's good. It's not bad. Just like what you were saying about, why didn't they report Woodstock as being something good instead of bad? It's the same thing. Everything that we learn, it's learning. It's not a mistake. We call them mistakes. We're taught, oh, I made a mistake. Really? Then how do you learn if you don't have these occurrences? How? How do we learn?
You can't.
No. But we're taught, we're programmed, okay, I screwed up again. Right? That's the mentality we have. And then that's how we look at everything in this world. But it's not a truth. It's not true. Don't believe that lie. Because the minute you can stop believing that lie is the minute you're going to find peace inside yourself. Right, Roger?
Yes.
See, Roger was angry, weren't you?
Yes, yes.
62 years of anger he had built up in him. See, he's beautiful. I like using him as an example because it's beautiful. You know, it's beautiful. Everybody here saw him before.
I never noticed he was angry. I really didn't.
But you see it now,
Yeah,
right?
I saw it in the middle of the trip. Remember, it hit me, the epiphany in that van. I was like, are you angry right now? Yeah, I'm angry. Really?
Daniel thought he was kidding,
Yeah.
you know, but you see, he had that built up in him his entire life. 62 years he lived like that. And then he fought letting it go.
Yes, I did.
He wanted to hold on to that anger.
It's comfortable there.
It is, isn't it?
It's comfortable there.
Yeah. Everybody's comfortable where they are and they're afraid to move out of that comfort zone.
It's comfortable, but it's also very
It's measurable.
uncomfortable at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, it's measurable at
It's
the same time.
miserable.
It is.
Right.
And I told Kim when I was in Thailand, I said, when I got there, I said, I'm I told her, I said, when we got out on the beach, she put her hand on my shoulder and she said, Raj, why are you angry? I said, I'm not angry.
Yeah, we had to walk that one off, I remember.
Yes, we did have to walk that one off. And I was like, if you'd stop asking me, I wouldn't be angry. She said, you can't put that on me. All I did was ask you why you were angry. You need to speak truth to yourself. And then I had to speak truth to myself. And I started realizing I was angry about everything.
Yeah.
And I told Kim, I said, I'm not going to be you. I'm not going to cut my hair. I'm not going to be a monk. I'm not going to be a Buddhist. I'm not going to study. I'm not going to think this. I'm not going to that. And
He
when
said
we
all
went
this
to,
at the beach.
yeah, I told him.
She's trying to make me a monk. I'm not gonna be a monk.
Yeah, and I told her when we went to the library to get the books, I said, I'm not reading those fucking books.
Well, now I'm reading those books.
I read every single one of them and some of them 6 and 7 times.
He was starting to feel better. We went for a walk, and he got mad that we were going for a walk. And he was happy we went for the walk, but then was mad about it.
Yeah.
Sergeant Hoskins is out here, Daniel, and I was like, okay, whatever. You remember that?
But do you see?
No.
Do you see how we disrupt our own peace?
Yeah.
Like that's what we're doing this to ourselves for no reason. Like there's really, we don't have a reason for it. If you could pinpoint a reason, can anybody tell me why? No, because we don't know why.
I'm not letting go of peace now. And I tell everybody, don't. I tell them this is my peace. I understand love and kindness. So I don't care what you guys do or what you guys say. I'm not letting you guys pull me out of my peace. And I speak that at the shop and everywhere else. I speak it because I will not, for 62 years, I didn't have it. And now that I have it,
Why would you ever look at that?
yes, I mean, even when I'm driving down the road, I start, in traffic because I don't like driving in traffic. But I went and picked him up at the airport, but I caught
Worry free the
myself.
whole time.
I caught myself, I really did. And I was like, I spoke, you dumbass, to somebody that cut me off. And then I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I said, if Kim was here right now, she would ask me the same question. What are you doing? Why are you speaking?
And right there is the key. You have to talk to yourself. You have to, and people will tell you, oh, you're talking to yourself, you're crazy. No, you're not.
Sometimes
Because-
I need an expert opinion.
Yeah, exactly. You have to take a check on what you're doing. You have to. That's called sati. That's called being mindful.
And I speak it out loud so I can hear myself. I do.
Yeah.
It helps when nobody else is in the car too.
You ever say, wait, what did you say?
Well, I know what Kim would say, and I tell myself often, if Kim was here, what would she be telling you right now? And speak truth to myself.
Can you hand me a water, Daniel?
So let me
Thank
ask you a question. So when dumbass come out of your mind, so what was it that you said to yourself?
Why did you say that?
And what did you say to yourself?
I told myself I was letting my ego get involved
Thank you.
I'm good, thank you.
because it didn't matter if that guy maybe he didn't see me. Every the things I learned is
It's like teamwork.
what we speak out of our mouth causes something. Whether it's an action that we do or speak out of our mouth, it causes something, whether it's to ourselves or to someone else. And I ask myself, because what I'm doing is I'm sliding backwards. So I have to ask myself, what are you doing? Why did you get upset? And there was no reason for me to get upset. Not one little bit. It was just maybe he didn't see me. Maybe he's in a blind spot. Maybe there's always circumstances.
But bottom line is, what difference did it make?
I caught
like-
myself.
Really, if you look at things in truth, in reality, so what? Somebody pulled over in front of you.
We didn't
What
wreck.
did you do?
Right. It's already
Right.
finished. You know, it's finished. Right. It's finished. So what difference does it make? Why would you leave your peaceful space to get into something that does, now listen to this, does not exist? Now let that sink in. It was already finished. Nothing existed at the moment of anger. It was already finished.
That's past. You're getting upset about the past. Yeah.
So you're letting yourself get pulled out of peace for something that does not exist. That's a little mind-blowing, isn't it? When you actually think of it.
How'd you put it that way?
Yeah, because that's the truth about it. The minute something has happened, it's already finished. It's already done. Like you can't go and undo it. Can you? Can you? Something happens. I pick this up, I put it down. I can't unpick it up. Right? I can't unpick that up. It's already finished. It's already done. I can't do anything about the action that had already taken place. Nothing. So I accept it. Let it go.
Or you cannot accept it and move it back, but it's already done.
But yeah, I mean, even if I say I don't accept it and move it back, the fact still remains that I moved it. I cannot change that. Once an action is taken, you can't undo the action. It's already done. Let it go. Let it be. It's already finished. Don't go over it and over it and over it. For what? What does it do?
Makes you suffer.
Yes, there's the suffering. Because you're going over something that does not exist.
And I wanted to say, and you moving it back is just showing that we have choices. You can choose to suffer, or you can choose to
Yes.
move in peace. And peace can be, okay, I don't want my water there, I'm gonna move it here. If
Yes,
it makes me happy, but I still can't,
you
undo
can't.
it.
Yes,
But you have a choice
you do.
to suffer or not.
Or not suffer. And what are you going to choose? Like it's always a choice. Do you want one of these?
I don't know. I was just tasting whatever. you
They're chewable, on guard, doTERRA,
Yeah.
cinnamony
Does
kind
that
of
say toilet at the underneath?
tablet, Roger.
Oh.
So this is like if we keep our mind,
Make your butt and your breath smell good.
if we keep our mind, right? If we keep our mind, you want one? Want one?
I'll take one, I reckon.
If we keep our mind, you got two.
I'm gonna thank you.
I got some. Are there yours?
I gave it to her.
It's
I
so
was like, I have
funny
a
how
lot of
fast
them. I see.
anger kicks in.
Well, it's
If you let it.
any emotion,
Yeah.
any emotion. Now, don't confuse your emotions with truth.
Say that again.
Don't confuse emotion with truth.
Okay.
And that's hard, or maybe it's not hard. It's hard to me, it's not.
Are you speaking the truth, Kathy?
I don't know. I think
How-
it's close.
It's okay. I think I broke it. Okay. How is it hard?
It's not, it's my perception, it's not.
Okay. I want you to speak your truth. Let's hear it.
That's the conversation.
See? Because it doesn't exist. And emotion is just that. It's something that comes and goes. It's not real. See, true love. You okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
True love and kindness isn't ran on emotions. It's unconditional. People don't know that. They don't know how to really love someone because their love is ran on emotion and conditions. But the minute you start, it starts inside your own self. And that's why you have to learn this for yourself, inside your own self. The minute you start loving yourself and accepting yourself for what and who you are, period. Now, that doesn't mean I'm a messed up mess and that's who I am. That's what he would say to me. But that is not a truth. That was not a truth. I knew the truth inside of him. See, there's a difference. We get confused because we're confused at the moment. But the minute you speak truth inside yourself, only truth, the truth is you're the same as everybody else.
Mhm.
We're all the same. We're all trying to get peace inside ourselves. Period. I don't care what kind of car you're driving. Doesn't matter.
How much money you have, the possessions.
None of that matters.
Yeah.
Everybody is on the same place, trying to get to the same spot. They just think different things will get them there. But there's only one way. And it's you doing you inside of you. Nobody can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. Now, I took Roger to Thailand, but I did not do it for him. I was hardcore on him, yes. I spoke truth every day to him. I didn't let him tell me a lie. I would say to him, you want to lie? Lie to yourself, but you're not going to lie to me. Wouldn't I?
Yeah. And then I would stay away from her for a couple of days because I didn't like what she said. And I went back and I read and studied and spoke truth to myself because I had to listen to what she said. And what she spoke was truth and point blank. But I didn't like it because I had to shed my ego first. And that's why I didn't like it, because my ego was involved. And then I had to go back to the kuti and sit there and meditate and clear myself and look at the truth for myself. And that wasn't that was not an easy thing to do for me. I mean, I spent hours sitting there, and it was hot in there because there was no air conditioning. And I wouldn't even come out because the monks were like, we don't see your brother. But I was inside there cooking, but I was
literally.
but I was looking at the truth of the lies that I was telling myself, because I had to realize, because we talked a lot, and as soon, because there was times when I go to the farm and it's about a mile walk for me, and all the way walking there, I was like, okay, be ready, because she's going to say something you don't like. and I was like, well, maybe I'll just turn around and go back to the temple. But then I was like, no, you already started walking. You need this. So just take what you get and deal with it, and you might have to go back and stay a couple days. But I did that, I don't know how many times, but it was always truth. And then I had to look at the truth inside myself and realize, because I wasn't happy, and I didn't know what it was like to be happy, but I wanted to be happy. And the only way you can find true happiness is speaking truth to yourself, because we do lie to ourselves because it's convenient and we're used to it. So we'll sit there and I told myself a bunch of lies. I said, well, that's just the Marine in me. This is just the way I am. But I didn't have to be that. And I found peace, and I saw loving kindness, and I was like, and you can't be there with the smiles and the kindness that everyone shows You can't be there and not have it rub off on you. And accept it, because I didn't want to always accept their kindness. I didn't, because it made me feel uncomfortable. And I thought, well, what do I got to give back? What am I going to owe somebody? But I didn't owe them anything. All I had to do was say thank you, and that's what Kim kept telling me. Just say thank you. Just stop and just say thank you. And that's what I started doing. I stopped. And I just started saying thank you and keeping things simple.
Well, the key is the reason that people who actually understand this are kind and loving to everyone is because they get it, and they know that one by one, if everybody in the world gets it, we're going to be living in peace. Like, it will be a peaceful world. Look, and if this hardcore Marine biker dude can find love inside his heart for himself, anybody can.
Yeah.
Truly, this is truth. I had to take him to Thailand. I couldn't do it here. But Thailand wasn't what got Roger where he is. Roger got Roger where he is. I just took him to Thailand to get him out of the environment he was in for a short time, to let him see himself. You have to look at yourself. See, you don't see your true self. You look at yourself and you see things that aren't true. I look at you and I see the same love I have in my heart. I see it in everybody. It's in everybody. It's not just mine. Everybody has it. But what I see is a world filled with people who have it and they don't know it. They walk around not knowing what they have all the time. From the time we were kids, I would say to Roger, I see your heart. Is that true or not?
Yeah.
I would say to him, I see your heart. You don't know me, he'd say.
I would get angry.
And I would say, yes, I do. I know your heart. Because it's the same heart that everybody in the world has. But we don't know it. Because we've been taught that it's not true. That we're all different and, no. But the truth is, we're all connected, and we're connected by love, and nobody knows it. Like, I'm seeing this secret that people don't see for themselves.
Wide open secret.
And it's amazing, because once someone sees it, look, once they see it, it's like this, it's like a light shining from them. And everybody they meet, they want to know, why are you so happy? What's going on? I went to Mellow Mushroom tonight I was going to get some mushroom soup, but they were out. But anyway, the girl was like, I said, you're out of mushroom soup. I came all the way from Thailand to get some. And I was joking with her. And she said, I'm kind of jealous. I want to go to Thailand. I said, come on.
Yeah.
Right? She's like, no, I'm serious. I said, I'm serious too. Right? Then her manager came. Well, I want to go too. I said, well, I teach meditation over there and I teach it. He said, you need to teach it here. I said, I do, right down the street. They wrote down the YouTube. Everybody wants peace. Everybody's looking for it. There's not one person in this world, if they don't have it, that they're not looking for.
But you have to forgive yourself first.
It's a big deal. You got to forgive
Because
yourself.
I said, when I was finally on the edge of finding peace, I sat in that cootie and I cried like a baby because I finally forgave myself, but I never felt like I deserved it. You know, when I would tell Kim, well, you don't know the things I've done, and you don't know, you just don't know. And I was like, you can't live this long in this life and do the things I've done and expect to find peace for it. But I forgave myself and I found peace because I did forgive myself. And when we went to Master Tong Bai up on the mountain, Daniel was with us, and Kim was like, Daniel asked him a question, and you know, Daniel's Daniel. He didn't have a problem asking a question. Kim said, you can ask him a question. I said, nope. She goes, why not? I said, because I don't have nothing to say. She's like, yes, you do. I was like, I do not. You know, I was like, I don't want to ask him a question. She said, but you need to. And the only question I could even get out of my mouth was, you know, I've been angry my whole life, and how do I not be angry or be angry, be a mean person to other people? And I wasn't ready for what he said, because I thought in my mind he was talking what I needed to do for others. And he said, loving kindness, patience, and what else? There was 3 of them. Forgiveness, yes. And I was like, okay, I can have patience with people. I can show loving kindness, and I can, what was that?
Forgive.
Forgive them. And so I was like, okay, I can do that for other people. And then the reality.
Then he
were like,
said, for yourself.
Yeah.
He was like, no, it's not for other people. Because I was thinking he was talking about because I was angry with the world. But he was talking about me, showing myself love and kindness, showing myself patience, and giving myself forgiveness. And it just, a knot hit me right in my throat, and I got choked up because I was like, how can this monk that doesn't even speak English look at me and say this to me?
Yeah.
And just look at me to say that. And I mean, it hit me deep. And, you know, step by step.
Because English isn't the universal language.
That's right. That's right.
It's not.
When a baby smiles.
Yeah.
Like when he smiles, it like lights up. He looks like a baby. And I was like, look at this, the cutest thing.
Yeah. But those are things that step by step I learned. And inside myself, everything was a step in time.
Yes, it's
You
a
know.
step-by-step process.
You know, I put
And
a lot
so-
of speed bumps in front of myself.
Here's the thing. You can't skip. You know, everybody wants to like get to the finish line. But in order to get to the finish line, you have to start by walking, right? Like you can't run a marathon and never have walked. You got to walk first, right? And you have to, you know, it's step by step. And so the number one, we're going to go back because this is important. The important is truth inside yourself. That is number one. That's the first thing I was ever taught by Master Bumi. He was the first monk who ever talked to me. I didn't even know what a monk was. And then he was like this mysterious kind of monk. You know, he wasn't like a normal monk. He knew some stuff, right? And he straight up, you know, He told me. He told me I would go to Thailand before it ever entered my mind to go to Thailand. Then he said I was going to India, and I argued with him. No, no desire to go to India. 3 months later, I was in India. You know, but he knows because he lives in peace every day of his life. Every day. No matter what's going on. And I've seen some stuff go on around him. And no matter what's going on, he's in peace. Total peace. There can be chaos going on all around him, and here he is.
Build on fire.
Nothing, just peace inside himself. Because he is telling himself the truth all the time. All the time. The truth, that's not about me. Number one, right? Whatever's going on outside of you, it really's got nothing to do with you. Don't take it in. Don't make it yours. It's not yours. It's none of your business. Leave it alone. Don't take it in. The minute you start taking things in and making other people's garbage yours, suffering begins.
Even when they say something about you, it's not
It's
about
not,
you.
yeah, it's not about you. It's not
I
about
learned
you.
that.
It's not about you. Every time something happens, speak to yourself. That's not about me. If it's not happening inside of you, got nothing to do with you. I don't care what it is. If you practice at that, then you'll begin. And it's not to say you can't care about people. People get confused with this. But I'm telling you, the minute you love yourself, forgive yourself, and have this, just fill your heart with loving kindness, that's when you really begin to be able to love people unconditionally. You cannot, because what happens is when you're loving someone and you're in your own crud, you're in your own emotion, you're not really loving them because you don't have the love in your heart. There's no way for you to love them because you don't have it for yourself. And you can't give what you don't have, no matter how hard you try.
You lie to yourself and say that you're doing it, but you're not. Because, just like when I went over to help that lady when her house burned down,
Mm-hmm.
and Josh wasn't there, and I was like, I started getting my ego because I was like, crap, here I am. These people don't speak any English, and here I am, and I'm supposed to do something. What am I supposed to do? But I went up and I just spoke in English. I said, I'm here to help you. And that lady, and Josh wasn't there. So I just went and started doing it, and they understood, and as time went on.
So, go on.
Well, here's what happens. See,
Because you're famous.
Roger didn't want to do any of it. So I would set him up, okay, on purpose to do things to get him out of his comfort zone. Because if we stay in the same place that we've always been inside of our own self, right? We don't grow. We just stay. We don't get out of the garbage that we have inside. So one of my favorite sayings is get comfortable with uncomfortable.
Yeah, you made me do that too, because I went the first was with the monks when they were going to the villages,
Yes.
and Kim left and went somewhere else.
I had to go to a different temple with somebody, okay, for an event over at a different temple. They were going into another village, and I told him he had to go with them, and he didn't like it.
They gave me a shirt and everything, so I was like, crap, here I go. Yeah, when I had that shirt, and I was like, but I don't speak, nobody speaks English, but they were trying to help me, because they looked at me and they said, whatever they said in Thai, and I was like, That's what I did. I was like, I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm here.
He literally does that.
Yeah, I do. And
But here's the
but
thing.
I had a great day.
That was, first of all, love and kindness is a universal language. You do not have to speak the language to be able to communicate. I don't speak Thai.
I
I don't
learned.
speak Indian. I don't, or whatever they speak in India. I don't speak the language in Sri Lanka, but I go to these places and I communicate just fine with people because I have love in my heart. And it came first for myself. It's important. You have to love yourself first. And if you don't know how, number one is speak truth to yourself. We're going back, see? Go back to the beginning every single time because you cannot skip this step. No matter what. And we don't even know what truth is most of the time. You know, this is true. You don't know what truth is because you'll sit and you'll tell me things and I'll be like, no, that's not true. Right?
Yeah.
You know, I do it to everyone in this room. I do
We
it to.
did that a lot, though. I mean, it was during our conversations.
But it has to be.
Is that true?
You have, and when I ask it's not because I need you to tell me. I already know you're telling a lie. Okay? There's no question in my mind. I'm not asking you because it's a question. I'm asking you so you can look at it for yourself. Because this whole process is you doing it for yourself. No one else. Like you can't, it's not something you can hire somebody to do for you. You know, this is so personal. It is the most personal thing you will ever do in your life.
It's the truth.
And it's the most important thing you will ever do in your life. There's nothing more important. Nothing.
But when you're in your ego, like I was part of the time, Kim would say, is that true? And I'd have to ask myself that because she was just asking me a question. I said, is that true?
And then
I would get in my ego and I would say to myself, she's calling me a liar. And so I didn't want to talk to her, but she wasn't calling me a liar.
well,
She
yes,
was
I
asking-
was.
Well,
Got you.
Yeah, yes, I was.
okay.
Because you were lying, were you not?
Well, I guess I was lying to
I
myself.
guess.
Yes. Do you see? But here, I wasn't going, oh, you're a liar. No, I was saying, look for the truth inside yourself.
Right, but I after I went back to the thing, I was like saying to myself, she's calling me a liar and I don't like it.
Mhm.
But I had to look at the truth of what we were talking about. And it was nothing negative. She was just asking me a specific question. Are you being honest with yourself?
But most people think of things in the negative. So when I say to someone, is that a truth? Most people will get defensive because they don't like being called a liar. But that's ego. And if you're telling the truth, then it's true and there's no problem. Right? The problem lies inside your own self. And it's not a problem, but you're telling yourself it's a problem. It all circles around back into your own self and being kind to your own self.
She's calling me a liar. One that I knew she wasn't. Even though I was.
The joke was on you.
I mean, the truth is, you were telling yourself a lie.
Yes, I was.
And if we continue, so I'm a teacher, right?
Yeah.
And I was teaching you, right?
Yes, there was a lot of teaching.
So what kind of teacher would I be if I just sat there and let you tell lie after lie
I
after
wouldn't
lie
be
to
where I'm
yourself?
at right now.
Right. You have got to, and you
I'd still be lying to myself.
right, because you had never been truthful to yourself.
No.
Most people have not. So part of meditation, the sati, mindfulness, is looking at your thoughts. When we meditate, first of all, let's be clear, your mind will not be quiet.
No.
You know,
Not at all.
it's not going to be quiet. Meditation, when you first start out, is to evaluate what your thoughts are without any distraction from the outside. Okay, that's what meditation is. That's your beginning meditation because you don't know what your thoughts are. So you're quieting everything, you're getting in a space of your own so you can see your thoughts, look at them. Is that true or not true? What am I telling myself? Why am I telling myself that? What is this going to create in my life? See, it's time for you to spend time with yourself. That's what meditation is for. So you can get familiar with yourself. You don't know who you are. This is the truth. And so we go on about trying to be what we think other people want us to be, instead of evaluating ourselves and becoming who we are. You're already that. You're already that. You just don't know it. So you've spent your lifetime trying to be something that you are not.
It's hard to swallow.
So the truth of awakening is you're awakening to yourself.
Yes. Yes. 100%. And when you do, it's very beautiful. Right, Raj?
What do you think about that?
Yeah. But it is about doing you.
When you search for all this stuff, you're always searching outside yourself.
Yes.
So when you go, because I'll be 60 this year too. So you go through all of these journeys searching for this thing outside of yourself.
Only to find out it's you.
Inside yourself. And it's a lot of outside I've been looking for a long
Yes.
time.
But
Yes.
when you find it, you'll realize that's where the peace comes. That's
It's
that's,
and it's
'cause
almost
it's in.
it's almost instantaneous when the
Mhm.
aha moment comes and you're like,
There was some aha.
yeah.
There was a
And
lot of
and
ahas.
you're like, oh my God, I'm what I'm looking for
Yeah.
inside my own self. And when you, and it sounds crazy because we've never thought of it that way. And we don't really know how to think of it that way. So that's why you have to do the steps. You know, you can't jump to that. It doesn't work. It's a process. If you could jump right away to that, you'd probably make yourself go insane. You know, because you don't know you don't know.
That's
Yeah.
that's why you gotta practice, because
Yeah.
every day it's something else, and it's a repetition of practicing.
Mhm.
Because if I wouldn't have, Kim asked me, when I was in Thailand, you've been doing your practice? Yeah. Okay, I've been doing some. She said, some. So that means you hadn't really been practicing. And I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, I practiced a couple days, but I took a day off here and there. But there's something you have to do every single day. And if you don't,
Yeah, and we just recently had that conversation again.
yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Because look, what happens in this process is that we get to a point, there's always going to be your ego that will try to come back into the picture. Okay. And so if you don't do this practice every day, and what do we mean by practice? Speaking truth to yourself, evaluating your thoughts, taking time away from the chaos outside of you to recognize the peace inside of you and to evaluate what thoughts you're having and why you're doing that to yourself. See, it's a process of getting to know yourself. If you stop that process, right, then you forget who you are for a minute. Then you have to begin again, right? It's okay because it's quick. When you begin again, you just like you get a jump start, right? It's like your battery went dead, you get a jump start. Oh, okay, I'm good, right? So you never lose it. It's just you need a little jump start to get yourself going again. But if you do it on a daily basis, you don't have to get a jump start, and you go from being here to here very quickly. But if you don't do it, and if you you're just staying here. If you're not doing your practice, how can you move forward? If it's like you're standing in one spot going, I want to be over there. I really want to be over there. But you're not moving your legs. You're not getting out of the chair to walk over there. You're just saying to yourself, I want to be there. But you can't be there without doing something. You have to take some kind of action for yourself, right? This is the way it is. You have to do this for yourself. There's no getting around it. And we have been convinced throughout our life. I went down every rabbit hole I could find. Okay? Truly, I did. You name it, I tried it. Because I was searching outside myself. Over and over again, all over the place. I got so many certificates for this and that, and But the truth is, yes, there are energies that you can do different things with, sure. That's not going to get you peace. Okay? There's different things you can do, not going to get you peace. There's only one way to get peace, and that's doing it inside yourself.
When you get the peace, I remember you were talking about this, and then there's an equal that comes to try to take it away.
It's not that it tries to take it away.
And distract.
Mara.
Mara.
It's like anything else in this world. There's always, yes, there's things in this world that,
Test you.
yeah, it's creating balance. It's showing you where you are. It's not a big deal. You see it, you go, I see what that is. Yeah. You get to a point, if you do your practice, and this is why it's so important, every day, evaluate your own thoughts. Because it's nothing really, it's nothing outside of you. It's you doing it to yourself. Okay?
We're not on the bikes then, Roger.
That's the truth about it. We can call it Mara, we can call it whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But the truth is, it's only, this is important. The truth is, it's only thoughts that you're having inside your own mind. That's all it is. No matter what situation occurs, you can have a good thought or a bad thought. Up to you. And whatever thought you have is going to dictate an outcome. See, you are so powerful and you have no idea how powerful you are. This is the truth. It's nothing outside of you, it's inside of you. Good or bad, you're creating it inside your own mind. That's why it's important to know your thoughts. We tell ourselves so many stories that are not true. We have scenarios made up about what people are saying about us, and they haven't said anything.
Mhm.
I mean, this is true.
Yeah.
That guy, I know he's thinking that why would he be thinking about you? But we have this in our mind. Then we take that, we planted a seed in our mind, and unknowing, because we don't know our thoughts, we had this conversation with ourselves inside our own. Nothing happened outside of us. Okay? This is truth. This is what happens inside people every single day. I can see it. I can sit in an airport or a train station or anywhere, restaurant, and I can watch it happen. And I'm like, oh, here we go. They're thinking that this guy is thinking about them, and they ain't got nothing. They're not even thinking that. But people have these conversations in their mind every single day that are non-existent, only in their own mind. So if you monitor your own mind and only speak truth, so you have to know what truth is. Truth is what's actually happening in this moment.
Yeah.
There is no other truth. What is happening right this second? That's the truth. Anything else, you're making it up. You're either thinking about what you want to happen later, or you're thinking about something that already happened. Neither exists in this moment in time. So you've made a scenario up in your own mind and created suffering. It happens. You don't even know you're doing it. It happens instantaneous because we don't pay attention to our thoughts. It happens every day, all day long. Right, Kathy? And so as we start to pay attention to our thoughts, we can block it from occurring. And then we can speak truth. And then you become present in this moment inside your own self. And you start to see your own heart. And you start to know the peace that's in there. But if you're always letting your mind go and not being present here, you can't. Where's your peace at?
I think I actually accused you of thinking something, and you
Yeah.
didn't I say,
Yes.
oh, you're thinking something? You said, oh, you might read my mind now.
Yeah.
I was like, well, no. Well, how do you know what I'm thinking? Because I was in my ego, and I was trying to prepare myself for something she was going to say.
And at that moment, I said to him, you think that I am like going to accuse you of something. You think that I'm saying these things and that it's a bad thing. But it's not a bad thing. You know, in his mind, he was saying to himself, here I go, I screwed up again.
Yeah.
And I said, why are you saying you screwed up again? Why can't you just learn? Why can't you just say, oh, this is great. I'm getting to learn something new.
Because I was telling myself I wasn't getting it. When I was getting it, but all I had to do was listen and not think I knew.
And and not criticize himself. See, we spend an astronomical amount of time criticizing ourselves.
And she got pretty hard with me. She says, "Don't say that around me again. Stop it. Don't say it."
I say that to everybody, huh, Kathy?
So
I
I did
do.
stop it.
Because it's not, the problem is we speak untruths and then we believe it. And we tell ourselves that we're trash and we believe it. And it's not true. Oh, if you all could see your hearts. I see them. They're so beautiful. It took me 59 years to get him to see his heart. Because since the day I was born, I believe this. I saw his heart, the truth in his heart, but he did not. You know, if you are mean to yourself, you're mean to everybody. You cannot be kind to other people when you're not kind to yourself. So, today, what is our lesson?
Kindness. Love and kindness.
Speak truth to yourself.
There it is.
You can have all the love and kindness in the world and want it, but if you don't speak truth to yourself, Daniel,
Roger.
me, especially me,
So-
it's a big one.
It is a big one because, yes, we want you to be loving and kind, but if you are not loving and kind to yourself, if you're not speaking truth to yourself, you're not being loving and kind to yourself. So it all comes back to truth inside your own self. And you have to know truth. What is truth? What's
Not
real?
not accepting
Like, this is
what's
something
lies
you
or
need
something.
to, like, I'm asking these questions because I want to be completely clear, crystal clear, so that when you leave here tonight, you can go home and you know in your heart what truth is without any question at all. So what is truth?
What it is. You explain truth.
How would you explain truth? How do you feel truth is inside of your own self? Not how I would explain it. I want to know that you are going to explain it to yourself. And not just them, I'm talking to everybody, because this is the key that will unlock the door. But if you're unclear on it, you're fumbling with the lock, but you got the wrong key. What is truth inside of you? It's all the same. There's not a truth for me and a truth for you. We all have the same truth inside our own self. You want me to help you?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
The truth is, number one, you are a loving, kind soul. That's a truth. Don't get confused about that. That is a truth that you need to speak to yourself every day of your life. Number two, nothing exists except for this moment in time. It's not outside of you. It's inside of you. Look inside your own heart. It's there. Love yourself. Don't pick yourself apart. Don't pick yourself apart. Look, we're all on this journey together. Nobody is better than anybody else. Now get clear on that. No one in this world is better than anyone else. I don't care. I don't care what your body looks like. I don't care how much money you got, because that is not you. That is not you. This body is not you. When you close your eyes and you take a deep breath inside your own self, and you hear a voice inside of you, that's you. It's not this body. Don't get confused. It's inside of you. It's hard because we haven't been taught this all our life. We've been taught something completely different. Oh, we got to look a certain way. Oh, we got to drive a certain car. Oh, we got to have a certain house. No, got nothing to do with that. You want to find peace? Still inside of you. It's in there. When you close your eyes and you see nothing, but you hear yourself. So you talk to yourself inside yourself.
Mhm.
That's who you are. It's hard to grasp, really, but that's who you are. And that one that talks to you inside yourself, not the ego.
It's your conscience.
Don't get confused with the ego and your true self. Your true self is the one who is kind, who speaks kindness. Your ego is the one that comes in and goes, "Ah, you asshole." Okay, that's your ego. Get clear on it. Because you don't want to take hold of your ego and keep it, because it will create suffering in you.
It's like your conscience. What you're always told is your conscience.
Yes,
Yeah, that's your true self.
yes,
Yeah. You know the truth.
yes. You always know the truth. Because the truth, like inside of you, when you are getting ready to do something and it's not the right thing to do, and you that thing inside of you that goes, "Oh man, I know I shouldn't do this," like you feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it like inside you. There's this and that's yourself. That's the true self inside, going, wait, don't do that to me. Right? That's what it's saying. Don't do that to me. But then our ego is like, screw you, and then we do it, and then we go, "Oh, I knew I shouldn't have done that." So your true self was talking to you.
Yeah.
But we squash it all the time. No, because that's not the cool one.
What a thought.
But it's true, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it like clearly, that's the truth.
Yeah.
So
It's like that, right?
we're going to do a little meditation, but my bell is in my backpack in there. Can someone get my backpack, please? Yeah.
You hungry?
I didn't do enough prep before I left the house. You know me. Somebody got to feed them children.
Good job.
He's a hell of a cook.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight it was just hamburger help. And a salad.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
He's a hell of a cook. I bet it was.
Yeah, but you still think hamburger help to take it.
It's not that hard when you pour it out of the box.
Okay. So, have you ever meditated before? Okay.
I ain't gonna say I'm good at it, but I've tried it.
Look, see, we're going to stop that right there. We're going to stop that right there. Okay. Number one, I'm not asking if anybody's good at it because nobody's good at it and everybody's good at it. All in the same. Okay. So here we go. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to walk you through, and then I'm going to do this kind of like chant. And it's called, I do Pato. And what Pato means, anybody know what it means?
I'm awake.
Inside of this.
I am awake. I am awake. That's what that means. It's actually Pali. So it
That's
means
what you had to say when you got your tattoo?
No, that, took.
yeah, that's a whole nother story. All right. So we'll talk about that after the meditation. All right. So everybody take a deep breath in. Get comfortable. However you want to sit. You can sit where you are, sit on the floor. I don't care. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take another deep breath in. Let it out. And one more time. Deep breath in and let it out. And just let yourself relax. And as thoughts come in, just look at them. We're not going to judge ourselves tonight. We're just going to look at the thought and then decide whether it's true or not. If it's not true, just let it go. Breathing in and out. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Take another deep breath in and let it out. And one more time. Deep breath in and let it out. Metta ceto imutiya, karuna ceto imutiya, mutida ceto imutiya, ubeka ceto imutiya. Okay, how are we feeling?
I feel great.
Good.
I just figured out how to land.
And just so you know, what I just spoke, metta means loving kindness. And when we chant that at the end, it's spreading loving kindness and compassion to everything and everyone around the world. That's what we're chanting when I end it like that. I think it's always good to know what those words mean because they're powerful. Like every chant is an ancient language and it means something. And they're very, very powerful. Roger actually experienced some powerful stuff from some of it. And so when we do that and when we do it together, it actually spreads loving kindness to everything, seen and unseen, around the world. So, okay, thanks everybody for joining. And if you didn't join, thanks anyway. So next week,